Stephanie, and they're all home sick tonight, you and the boys, so they would certainly be here. And TJ is representing the Brookline family.
Peter Street of McKenna's.
Dick, you want to introduce your family, Dick?
Yeah, I'm Dick O'Neill. This is my wife, Shannon.
I'm Jan's
And
daughter.
Spencer. We're the chosen ones.
I always suspected.
Yeah.
I'm Jan's son. This is my wife, Stephanie, and my daughter, Abby, and my son, Cameron.
Yeah, and this is TJ.
I'm Keith Wyrick. I'm the artistic director of the Peacock Players. We're tenants here and very, very happy to waken the ghosts here at Jan's Theater on a nightly basis.
My name is Mike Wood. I'm the Vice President of the National Theater Guild, and we're just happy to be here once in a while and use the stage and appreciate all.
You played on this stage, haven't you, Mike?
Yeah.
I have acted, and I'm directing the show here at the end of the month called Proof.
That's our town, isn't
Well, our town's later.
Peacock's doing our town in February, but they're doing one before.
Doing Proof in January.
Good play.
I'm Ken Page, friend of the Street of Families, in particular Chris and Cam, who I coached in Little League.
Sounds like it's already been introduced. But needless to say, Jan twisted my arm to paint this place back when she was on the board. So the next time the place, when you guys are ready to have it painted, call me and we'll be glad to donate.
Yay.
You did a good job in the mayor's office. That's fair enough. Well, just on behalf of our family, we just want to thank you for, and the city, particularly the Board of Aldermen, who voted in December of 2007, and I think it went through unanimously, didn't it, Mark?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Barbara Presley is on her way. I know she's running late. I think she wanted to be here tonight, so probably pulling up.
We'll know when she arrives. And I think that the symbolism of this is that we want this, I think the community wants this theater to remain, wants the building to be refurbished, and whether the theater is here or somewhere else, or whatever the city does with this particular building, it does have a lot of memories for a lot of people. And we hope that, Mayor, that you'll find at some point some funds either to refurbish the theater or find a new site, which would be even better for the arts community in our city. Arts means so much to the people of our community, and I think it's symbolized by the different organizations that are here this evening. So, on behalf of the Streeter family, we thank you very much, Tom, for doing this, and I appreciate the mayor being here.
I mean, who knew this was, hey, let's pressure the mayor into doing it.
Just my laughing about that. You know, actually, I'm pleased to be here tonight. For those of you I haven't met, I'm Donnelly Lozo, and I serve as the mayor following in Bernie's footsteps. And I'm pleased to say that Jan Streeter was a friend of mine for a very long time. We served together in the legislature, and we had a great respect and admiration for each other. And I knew that one of the things that Jan did was, when she took on something, she took it on 120%. And this was something that she had a great passion for, and you shared that passion with her, which is really important. Alderman Cookson mentioned earlier, and Alderman Presley has arrived. Alderman Cookson mentioned earlier the Arts Commission. And for those of you that may not know, we put together a group some time ago. It's been about my first year in office. I met with every arts group that I could think of in this community. And Keith, I think you're one of the last ones I think I met with, because that was pretty recent. But and one of the things that was very clear to us was that everybody had a different idea about what should be happening with the arts, whether it was performing arts or visual arts or whatever it might be. Everybody had an idea of how it should be. But the one common thread was its value throughout the community. And I think that that's very important. So we had a half-day seminar, workshop type of thing, where everybody got an opportunity to weigh in and talk about it. The result of that was a steering committee that came together to talk about how do we go forward, and is there room in this community for an arts commission that can really be the face of the arts in this community, where people could go and have a voice and leaders in the community that have to make decisions could get information from a source that came to us and said, here's where you should invest, here's what you should do, here's what's important. The Board of Aldermen voted unanimously to pass that, to pass the steering committee's recommendations, and we will have an arts commission in the community. Now, I'm going to take an extra minute, if you'll indulge me, and talk about this building in particular, because I know that all of you wonder what's going to happen with it. It is my hope and goal that we invest the money in this building to get it, as I call it, buttoned up. So from in making sure we're talking the same language, that to me means let's make sure the roof doesn't leak, let's make sure that the building is safe, let's make sure that we redo the risers in the theater, let's make sure that the HVAC systems are changed out, let's make sure that we can do something in the front where that concrete is at a pitch, that plays into the safety, and let's do something like that. Now, we voted again to dedicate some dollars to this building to do that. I'm anticipating that we'll probably put somewhere between $200,000 and $500,000 into the building, depending on what those numbers come in at. I have somebody right now that is giving us, putting together an RFP for what it would take to get inside the theater squared away. We have the chairs that were donated some time ago that we can put in, but you really need new risers to do that. There's some fire issues with underneath the risers, and how can we use that space better because you don't have a lot of space in there. So those are things that we're looking at. So we are going to invest money. 2011 will be a big year for some of that. Then I think we have to figure out what's the home for this. Who takes responsibility for the building? And how do we make sure that it generates enough income to be self-sustaining? I don't see a new art center in our future anytime soon, especially now. But I think if we invest properly in this building and use the space wisely, which I'm hopeful that in the old fire truck days we could have a nice dinner theater in there. That's what I'd like to see in there. And then this is a main community stage, and then the downstairs is a stage for productions for, let's just say, older folks among us. And I think that we could use that space and then invest some money in the Keith Auditorium. Well, I learned that it's probably bad to say adult theater because it conjures up something. So I just want to be clear about that. But I think that there's a way to use this building to its best ability, use the Keith Auditorium for what it is, and to not necessarily try to compete with a Verizon Center or something else, or the Lowell Memorial Theater. You know, I mean, you know, Nashua has a unique way of being an individual, and I think that that's not going to be lost here. So, for what it's worth, to let you know what it is. But again, we're here today to remember Jan and her passion for this, to remember that it's been named the Jan Streeter Theater, which I think many of the people in this room knew, but I think the general public coming in wouldn't have a reason to know that, and now they do. So, Brian, I'm happy to share this moment with you.
Did you bring a flask with you?
No, don't start any rumors. Coolers are empty.
Thanks again.
I'd love to take some photos with the family.